everyone, welcome to Practicum Public Programs. So we're really appreciative of you coming tonight. This is a wonderful opportunity where the seniors in our Environmental Education and Interpretation program present their programs, their senior capstone event to the public. We do have additional program flyers there, so if you're thinking, hey, I might be interested in going to another one of these programs, feel free to pick those up. They're free, they're fun, and there's free candy, so what more could you ask for? The second thing is there's bathrooms down the hall. If you need those, just keep those in mind. So we're so thankful for you here, and I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to our instructor. Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome everyone. So to start out, I'm going to ask a few just broad questions. Start out, how many people here have gone swimming with a few friends? Well, it can be in a lake or a pool. Couple? A few more? Everyone now? Have you tried talking or yelling to your friends under the water before? Yeah? How did that go? Not very good? Not good? Could you smell them by chance? I sure hope not. I don't hope your friends smell that bad. Don't try that. Alright, so it can be really difficult for the fish and for people to use their senses underwater. So how are they able to do it? And that is what we are going to get into further today. So hi, my name is Spencer Baeckman. I'm a Fisheries and Aquatic Sciences major at UWSP. And today we're going to be doing a few different activities. A couple regarding food and some sense stuff. So if you get headaches or you're sensitive to smell, feel free to leave the room if you need to. If you're allergic to anything, you can talk to me or Brenna here, who will be helping me out throughout the program. But if you do decide to stay throughout the activities, I encourage you all to participate and please have fun. So, fish use their sense of sight, smell, touch, and hearing in order to be able to adapt to their different environment that's around them. And while we set up this first activity, I'm going to ask for you all to think of a fish or two that has a very keen sense of sight. And we are going to pass out some papers here and some coloring utensils. Welcome. So in a moment here we're going to turn off the lights and I'm going to flip this drawing around so you guys will be able to see it. And you all will try to draw what you can see. And I'll give you all around 5-ish minutes to draw or color whatever you can see on the drawing. And then we will proceed on with the second part of this activity. So Brenna's going to hit the lights here. I'm going to flip this drawing over. I'll give you all around 5 minutes or so to draw what you can see in this picture. Alright, so now for the second part of our activity here, I'm going to shine this light. It can be around the room, I might shine it on the picture, but any sort of details you all might want to add to your pictures, maybe some more colors if you like, feel free to do so. We'll do that again for another 4 or 5 minutes. All right. Brenna's going to turn the lights on here.
Warning.
Or one of them at least. I'll leave it up to you guys. You guys want to both on or just one of them? Yeah, we'll do that. Alright, so how did that go for everyone? Was it hard to draw them in the dark a little bit more? Yeah? Does anyone want to share their drawing on what they're able to add once they can see some light? Yeah, that's really good.
I didn't know the line was there until you got the
Yeah.
I didn't see anything you saw.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
I
Anyone else want to share?
No.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Okay, let's see how the college students. Okay, what's his name?
Parker.
Hey Parker, show the college students your picture.
Show him.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so for our question that was asked earlier, could anyone think of a fish species that utilizes their eyesight very well? And I'll give you guys a hint. It's on the screen right now. And it's on the drawing, actually. Can anyone name a fish species that uses their eyesight very well? Yes. Yes. So that's our fish species here on, well, your guys' left, my right. So walleye use the light like what we just demonstrated. Most other fish would perhaps see what we saw in the dark. But walleye have a lot of reflective portions in their eyes, so their eyes reflect things like moonlight in almost like a flashlight sort of a sense. So they can use that in order to locate prey at night and be able to eat food when other fish can't really see what's going on. So another fish species that we have here at Schmeekley, walleye aren't in Lake Jonas at all, but one that is our bluegill. These are found all over Wisconsin and in Lake Jonas. And bluegill are very unique because they have very, very sensitive eyes. It covers their main sense that they use, and it's largely due to because they can be really small, only a couple inches, all the way up to 10 to 12 inches. So during that time frame, they're eating a lot of different kinds of food. When they're younger, they're eating little plankton and little bugs. But when they get up to this size, they can eat like larger minnows or bigger worms that are around. So in order to change to all these things that they're seeing, if they only had eyes that were adapted to eating larger things, they wouldn't be able to capitalize and actually eat all the smaller things that are around them in order to get to that size in the first place. So another fish species that is in Schmeekley actually eats these and utilizes their eyesight very well as well. Does anyone know what that might be? It's a lot longer of a fish. That's a hint. Yes. So northern pike are also in Schmeekley, but unlike our bluegill friends, bluegills have their eyes more on the sides of their heads because they just need to see directly what's really around them. We talked about how fine their sight is. Well, pike have that really long snout here. So if their eyes were more on the side of their head, they wouldn't really be able to see what's in front of them or what they can actually end up hunting. So their eyes are more located on the tops of their head, and so they can see past that snout and use that long body to go up and hunt things like bluegills. However, what happens when the water is dirty? What other senses can fish use in order to find the prey around them? Does anyone have any ideas? Yes.
Hearing?
Hearing, yes. Anything else? Yep.
Some fish have a lateral line.
Yeah.
They can like feel vibration.
Yeah.
Some fish have long, some fish have long bodies, and some fish have short bodies.
Yeah.
Dozens?
Yeah. So that's actually going to be our next one. We'll get to the hearing stuff later. But fish are able to utilize their sense of smell when they can't really be able to see anything. So after a big rainstorm or some body of water is a lot more down south, or even the Wisconsin River here, can be really dirty at times. It's really hard to see. So for this next little demonstration, this is the part where if you are very sensitive to smell, you are free to step out for a second if you need to. But we're going to do a little experiment here where I have some Febreze. And I just want you all to raise your hand if or when you are able to smell this. Brenna can maybe smell it.
Maybe a little tinge, yeah.
Not much. So it's pretty hard to smell. However,
That's gonna everywhere.
if we add some wind or some current to our system, and we spray a little bit around,
Sorry about that real quick.
are people able to start smelling that now?
Can we?
Yeah?
Yeah.
So I didn't spray nearly as much as what I put in the corner,
Oh.
but just adding that little bit of current helped them to be able to smell it. So things like our catfish here can't see all that well. So we can see in this picture, compared to its head and its whole body size, its eyes are really, really small. And that's because catfish can't really see much of anything. They use these little barbels here to feel around. As mentioned before with the lateral lines, they have a very strong sense of what's going on around them. They don't have scales like our other fish that we've talked about so far. So things like scent can actually go through their skin and they're able to smell things as well through that method. And they've got a couple of big nostrils here that they use as well. So things like catfish or our native trout that are around Stevens Point will sit themselves in wind or in current in order to be able to smell all the bait fish and things that are around them. But something else that our catfish are very good at is communicating. And our catfish can actually croak. Now, Schmeekley doesn't have any channel catfish like this, but they do have some catfish family fish, which are called bullhead, one of which is in this little video here. But catfish can do something called croaking. Does anyone want to demonstrate what they think croaking might sound like?
No.
No?
Yes.
If not, I'm going to play the video and you guys will find out here shortly. Yeah, that's pretty close. That's pretty close. So we're going to play this video here if you all want to listen.
I know it.
So that was pretty close. But the croaking is a direct form of communication for the catfish. And, oh, I don't know what's happening here. So croaking for a catfish is using their sense of hearing. And the best way I can describe it is like a notification on your phone. Now, can I get an example of what someone might do if they get a notification on their phone? What do they do? Yeah. Check it, right? If it's someone you text a lot or someone you enjoy being around, you might get kind of excited, look at it faster. If it's some random notification or a government text, you're probably putting it back in your pocket because you just don't care. But the croaking is a lot like that. So these catfish will be able to send out little messages to each other. Some of the croaking is just letting them know where each other is, not really that important. But other times when they croak, it's to alert of a predator maybe, or it can be to signal that there's bait fish nearby, to get everyone else together so they can all eat it. But sometimes it can be a little territorial. So if you get a really big catfish, it doesn't want all the other ones around it to be able to steal the food from it. So it'll croak a little bit in order to warn other catfish to kind of get away. And other fish are a little familiar with this croaking sound as well, and kind of know to stray away when they hear it. So we are going to do another little demonstration here, and for this I need one brave volunteer to come up and stand in the middle of the room. Yes, and what is your name?
Cece?
Cece? So Cece, if you want to stand in the middle here,
There you go.
I promise it won't be too bad. All right, now I'm going to need everyone else's help as well. So Cece, you are going to close your eyes Okay? And when you hear your name being said from around the room, I want you to point to where you hear it coming from. Okay? And for the audience, when I point to you, say Cece's name. Sound good? Okay. Cece, close your eyes.
Cece.
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 All right, let's give a round of applause for our volunteer. All right, so as we can see, it took no vision whatsoever, and Cece was very accurate with where she was able to point on where these sounds were coming from. So when things like catfish are making these noises, they're able to pinpoint it exactly, and that also goes when fish are splashing on the surface or bait fish is nearby. All these little croaks and signals are able to locate exactly where it is and hear from quite a ways away in order to be able to get to where they want to go. So, our fish catches its food. It uses all these other senses to catch its food. How does it know that it's actually good, that it's what it wants? So through this, fish have a very sensitive mouth, but not like you and I. It's not taste buds necessarily, but it is very specific to the food that they eat. Now, really quick, who wants to share some of their favorite foods? Yes. Cheesy pizza.
Strawberries.
Strawberries. Those are all pretty good, yeah? Tacos. Yeah, I gotta love tacos. So, for our video here, we have some local brook trout and a poor fly fisherman who has his fly going down the stream, and this brook trout is gonna pick it up and spit it out in one breath. And this fisherman has absolutely zero chance of catching this fish. So it's very, very quick. In less than half a second, they can be able to determine that that is not exactly what they want, and to be able to spit it out or decide that they don't want it. Which seems pretty impressive, but it's a lot like you and I. For example, if you're eating a strawberry, you know what that's supposed to feel like. And if you bite into it and it's as hard as a rock, that's not exactly what you're anticipating. So fish use this sense of texture in their mouth in order to be able to determine if their eating is actually good, and it avoids them being caught quite often. So we're going to do another little demonstration here. I'm going to ask that you all close your eyes. This is our food portion. You guys are all going to get a plate of food in front of you. And if you guys can all close your eyes while we pass them out and keep them closed, and I will give you further instruction here as we go. But if you have any food allergies, now would definitely be the time to say something. So I want you all to keep your eyes closed now, but you can reach out in front of you to touch what is in front of you. You're hoping to feel something round, maybe a little bit softer. There's some other stuff on the plate, but that's what you're looking for. All right, you all can open up your eyes and see what you were touching.
I got 2 grapes.
So how difficult was it to determine either that it was a grape or even just to find the grape in your plate? Pretty easy? Kind of depends on how many chips you had maybe. Some people had a lot of chips and only a couple grapes. Other people had a lot of grapes and not that many chips. So, like our brook trout in this video, it was not that hard when I said what to look for. And in that video, our brook trout are looking to eat that specific thing. So all that other stuff on your plate, that could be different vegetation, that could be other debris going by, but they know that's not exactly what they want to eat. So for the remaining amount of time here, you guys are welcome to eat your snacks that you have in front of you. And on the back of the page that you already have, if you want to draw your favorite type of fish that you can think of, here's some local fish that are in Schmeekley Reserve. We got some bass there up in the top left. We didn't talk about them, but they are all over Schmeekley. Our bluegill from before, our pike, and this is a black crappie. We also did not talk about those, but are pretty common in Schmeekley. So whatever your favorite fish is, it could be local like these, it could be completely made up. If you want to have him eating your favorite food or smelling something in the distance, feel free to go for it. And I will give you all around 5 to 10 minutes to go draw your favorite fish and incorporate him or her in whatever activity you would like. All right. So we're going to go around the room here, share what we drew. Yeah, Brennan's going to start us off here.
I drew a narwhal and specified it's specifically the narwhal from Elf that says, "Bye, buddy, hope you find your dad."
Oh, wow.
Perfect.
That's nice.
All right. Next up,
I got bluegill.
bluegill.
Ah,
Nice.
Awesome. This is great. Drew a Goliath tigerfish.
Nice.
I just drew a northern.
Nice.
Did you bluegill eat pizza?
That's nice.
That's great.
I drew a brook trout doing the hula hoop.
I drew a cartoony pipefish.
Nice.
I drew a fillet of fish sandwich.
I drew a fish fry.
No.
I drew a walleye.
Nice.
I also drew a walleye. I drew a koi fish.
Oh, wow.
All right. Those all look really good.
Why your job?
Oh, I was talking to people. All right. So, who here can help me remember? Because I forgot. What senses that fish use in order to?
Hearing.
What's that?
Hearing.
Hearing,
Sense.
scent. Got a couple more we talked about. Yep.
Eyesight.
Yep. There's one more.
Point.
Yep.
Touch.
Yes. So that's all 4 that we talked about. So even though fish use their senses differently than us as far as in the water, they're a lot alike. They use their vision, their scent, their hearing, and their touch in order to be able to find their prey and to be able to thrive in their environment. So even though they're in a different ecosystem than us, next time you all see a fish, I want you all to think about how they're so similar in how they're interacting with their environment and how they're navigating their changing world just like us in many ways. So I want to thank you all for coming out to today's program. I know the weather was not great, so thank you for showing up. Please drive home safe, and please go out and see the other programs that other students are running. They're all very, very good and very well put together. If you have any questions about fishing or just fish in general, please come up and talk to me at the end. I'd be happy to answer any questions. And if you're looking to get into some fishing around Schmeekley, Lake Jonas is a wonderful place. And Schmeekley Reserve here actually has a tackle loaner program if you're looking for any tackle and you don't have your own that you would like. So thank you again for coming and have a great night.